Yeah, it's not pretty. I mean, but when I got this unit to put in the garage, it came with nothing. I mean, it was just the track, the chain, and the motor, and that was it. I had no wire, I had those sensors, nothing. And it's been running faithfully here for like 15 years. So I'm going to undo it. You can see here, right here, the sprocket completely gone. The chain fell off, all that kind of stuff. These old models, they didn't have a chain guide in it. You know what I'm talking about? That would support the chain, take a bit of the load off the bearing here, and we just overworked it. But this is the primary garage door that we're using, so it opens and closes 6-7 times a day, 6 or 8 times a day. I guess it's got to be an even number, right? Yes. So we're going to disconnect all this stuff here. So I used irrigation wire to hook these up. Any low voltage wire is going to work for this because they're all on low voltage. So I'm just going to remember here that I had green on one side, red on the, white on the other. And then the blue and the red in the middle. So once those ones are off, and this wire I just cut it because, well, the one that I replaced I found on Marketplace for like 35 bucks. It was a great deal. But it came with a cut power wire. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to patch it. Now here on the top, you can see on the bar, we have a bolt here and we have a bolt over here. Of all the garage doors that I put in, all the garage door openers, this never changes. It's like the track is universal. Perhaps there's only one manufacturer of garage door tracks, and they follow this pattern. So modification is easy going from one model to another. So these nuts are all a 1/2 inch. So grab yourself a 1/2 inch socket and put it on a ratchet. And get it done, just like that. And keep a hold of that. I'm going to put it right up here on this 2x4. If you don't ever have a roll of galvanized wire, well, then you're missing the single greatest tool that a millwright can have in his arsenal. Anybody, even if you're a do-it-yourself or handyman guy, this stuff is going to save you. So I've disconnected this rod. You see it? Right? I'm going to wire it up because when I take this motor off, it's going to fall. So I'm just going to go here over the nearest thing. Mind you, it's going to sit on top of the door that's open. But as an added security, because, you know, it's going to have a thud. And that's it. So now I'm going to actually remove this motor from it. For added security, I'm going to put another wire around one of these holes and over that 2x4, just so it doesn't land on my head. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, these motors are not that heavy. They might be like 12 or 15 pounds at the most, but they're going to make a heck of a clang, right? So this will be just to make it a little easier. That's all you need. Right. I'm going to take this one off here. Right. And we're going to get that one out of here. Okay, so to make it easy to facilitate all this, yeah, this piece of wood ain't going to work because this model's got a guard on it, a chain guard. A chain guard's good. It's going to keep your chain spaced properly so that when it enters the sprocket, it's not going to bind, and it takes a bit of the load off of the bearing that's on that sprocket. But looks like I'm going to have to relocate these brackets. Darn, because they were working pretty good. You didn't think this would be easy, did you? So I know that this you bought it. Here, you're gonna go like that, right? Yeah. It's gotta fit right on there. So around here somewhere, I'm gonna wire this up just so that I don't have to worry about you know, it falling to the floor. Right? So here, see where this hole is and that hole is, and the holes are gonna line up, right? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get these on there, hopefully. You can't see what I'm doing? I can't see what I'm doing. It helps to just say go by feel. So that's one. Two. Okay. So now, because you wired it up back here, remember? We held it at a certain height. I can see now this has got to go up higher anyway, because we want this to be level. As level as we can. So I'm tightening up that wire there. That feels better. That feels better. One. I'm going to do the other. Yeah. Come on now. Once your motor's all fastened up and it's up there, then let's just get rid of this wire here that was holding up the rail. Because now the motor's supporting it, and the wall's supporting it, of course, too. So we're not. So I think I remember where all of these went, right? I think it was the white goes over here, pressing the tab there, and right, white one. Well, so far so good. And then the red one next to it, right? And then the green one was on the end. So I want to be looking at this motor here, because when I start it, I want the motor to go I guess it's going to be clockwise until it gets to its end position, and that'll be the closed position. Okay, so I'm going to be turning it. I want to say go clockwise. That's the bottom position. So if I press this again, hopefully it's going to go the opposite direction. Okay, so now that we know that we've got it up and a down, we're going to put it in the down position. Put the door as much closed as it will go. So we have to run this cable around the spindle here. It sure sits in the spindle, and it's clipped here, right up there. You can see with a chain link. All right, it's not that easy, and it's pretty dark up here, so it's hard to see. And then we're going to pull the chain along. So I've got the chain coming down this side. I'm going to pull it through here. And the chain's going to go around the sprocket. And you want to keep it tight because it's already where it's supposed to be in the down position, right? So it's in the bottom position, it's in the sprockets. And we can go to the other end again, right? So here at the other end of the chain, we've got a washer and a nut, right? So we're going to push this through the receiver with the washer on. And the nut. This is also a 1/2 inch wrench, and we're going to tighten this up. And we tighten it up until we can look down the track and see that it's all above the track. That's not bad. Not bad. And the cable's on the other side, and it's tight too. And we're going to open this up and see what it looks like. I think that's okay. So if you got something out of this video, you can give it a thumbs up. Please share it with your friends. If your friggin' thing dies, it's only going to cost you 35 bucks to fix it up with a little bit of work. Thanks for watching Odd Jobs. Boy.